Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Jodo Cast, your Star Wars gaming podcast. This is episode 81. My name is Evan Lewis. I am, of course, joined by Leo Andry.
Hi.
And Joe Latovsky.
Hello.
And none of us would be here today if it were not for the diligent faith and love of all of our patrons over at patreon.com/thejodocast. I would encourage anyone who is curious about that to follow the link to there from jodocast.com, where they can find a whole bunch of other cool things, as well as our Discord server. A link to our Discord server is at jodocast.com, as well as other social media sites, but that's the one that we're on all day, every day, and we get to talk with friends, family. I don't know how much family is on there, but patrons, non-patrons, all kinds of wonderful people, so just head on over there and you too can join in. Also at jodocast.com is a feedback survey, so even if you're not a patron, or if you are, you can tell us what you love, what you hate, and what you want to see different with our show. The point is, there are a number of ways that you can help shape the future of this show. None are nearly as astronomically important as our patrons. They remain the greatest people in the universe. But we appreciate everyone who takes the time to even just drop by and say hello. And with that, we're going to talk about what we've been playing. And as always, we'll start with Joe.
I almost played Battlefront 2015.
Okay. What led you to that? We
booted it up because, it's still... Someone's a crinkler.
Your mom's a crinkler.
Oh my.
My cousin just needed try and squeeze out a couple more achievements, and we were like, alright, you just need to get 2 wins on this game mode, let's do it. But we couldn't get into any matches.
I was going to say, was there so anyone to play against?
There was not.
Okay. Now we know what it's like to play on PC.
I've probably played some Battlefront 2 since we last recorded. And then I got in a game of Legion.
Okay.
I think that's it.
I think that's less than your average, but still more than the average person. So, good on you. Leo.
Just playing and painting Legion.
It sounds like you're living the best life.
I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but yeah, it's not bad, playing Legion. I made a kick-ass Palpatine statue that I really like. Turned one of my old 3 3/4 inch action figures, painted it up like bronze and stuff, and turned that into a statue for some terrain.
Is that the thing that all the kids are doing these days, is taking other Star Wars toys and making them into like statues to just drop in the middle?
Somewhat.
We're starting that trend. That's what
I don't know. I've seen people do it before us, Joe. Sorry.
No, we were first.
Okay, we were first. All those other guys they're like not really retroactively, they're proactively copying us. There we go. No, what I have seen a ton of though is like the Revel and the Bandai model kits have just, the sales on those must have suddenly shot through the roof, because that seems like everybody is using those to make terrain out of like crashed X-Wings and snow speeders and stuff, because a bunch of those model kits are like 1/48th or 1/52nd, which is pretty close to Legion scale, except for the ones that lie about it. Like there's an ATSD kit that says that it's a 1/50 scale, but if you look at like the actual size, I think it comes out to be more like 1 to 70 something scale.
Oh. Huh. I guess I've never looked that closely at models.
This is important, man.
Obviously. You'd best be getting on the Legion subreddit and warning people to look out for those 170 scale knockoffs.
I think I did actually warn a couple people who were like, I'm gonna buy this AT-AT model because it says it's perfect scale on the box, and I was like, oh ho ho, let me tell you.
Yeah, you could just let them learn the hard way, but nope, you're doing what you can to make the world a better place. I was racking my brain trying to think if I've played anything Star Wars since the last time we spoke, because I had to miss my weekly Edge of the Empire game, which made me sad. But, you know, it was holiday weekend, and, you know, people see family on holiday weekends, I guess. So we didn't do that. Actually, the one game that I did play, for sure, 100%, full memory recollection, was teaching our friend Zach how to play Legend of the Five Rings. And he really got into that, as I knew he would, because it's such a minutia-driven game. I had brought Destiny with me, but I was like, you know what? I know what game you'll enjoy. So we played that. And predictably, I lost. I am still par for the course in any competitive game against Zach.
Hey, when I come to visit in August, you can teach me, and I promise to let you win.
Oh, you promise, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. We'll see. Well, when we get our X-Wing second editions, then I will.
Then I'll kick your ass.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll let you win. I'll let you win an L5R, but
fair enough. I think you'd enjoy that one too, because it is so tiny detail and manipulative and combat focused, and it reminds me the most of Star Wars CCG of any of the LCGs that I've played. But in any event, I won't talk too much more about L5R unless people actually want to, because, boy, I could talk about that all day. Because we actually get, announcements for that. Which is going to slide us straight into our topic. Man, we're really getting through this episode quick this time. People should be happy. All right, so our topic is going to be some of those Star Wars video games, because those are a thing still. And we really want to kick off this discussion by looking back at a recent Twitter feed that we posted. Well, I believe it was probably Joe threw this up there.
A poll?
The poll. And it was, is EA doing a good job with the Star Wars license? As anyone could probably guess, the overwhelming response was no at 88%, and that leaves a 12% that said yes. So
a staggeringly low number for saying that, for answering that. Like, how could 12... if you said yes to this poll on Twitter, that you think EA is doing a good job with the Star Wars license, we'd love to hear from you with an explanation. Like, maybe your finger slipped, that's an acceptable... Or maybe you only play Galaxy of Heroes and that's all you care about.
And Force Arena.
Force Arena is not from EA.
Oh, good point.
They've got some updates. I've been thinking about trying that out again.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since...
Yeah, Force Arena actually has solo content, unlike some other games.
Well, yeah, there was an article on StarWars.com today that was like, look at all this solo content coming to all these games, and I was like, okay,
And they're
it's like
all
solo content for Force Arena, solo content for Commander, solo content for Galaxy Heroes, all for Battlefront.
Yeah, they know their audience. It seems that is the Star Wars gaming audience these days.
is people who enjoy mobile games.
Yes.
Okay, well, they're not 100% shitty, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yes.
like
relative to
I've
what we
been
expect.
Very tempted to get back into Force Arena. I don't think that was ever shitty. It wasn't amazing, but I don't think I would ever say it was.
Yeah,
There's going to be a lot of editing on this episode already.
it's more an expression of frustration in the fact that I don't want a mobile game. I mean, mobile games are fine for what they are, whatever. But that's not what I want to play. So no matter what their, objective quality is of these games, when it's not what I want to play, it just makes them seem extra
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so speaking of solo content in Battlefront, the second season of the game came out. The seasons were originally supposed to be like a once-a-month thing. Second one came out in May. Game's been out since December?
November.
And it included... Because the first season was The Last Jedi season, which gave us Phasma and Finn as new characters. And
Which was pretty good.
Crate as a new map. Yeah. This one, which they're calling the Han Solo season, gave us a new skin for Leia, a new skin for Lando, and a recycled map from the last game, and then a bunch of like kind of quality of life updates for the game, but not necessarily new content. And they made the Ewok hunt mode permanent, but that wasn't like a content created for this quote season. So there's 2 new skins and a good but still recycled map from the last game. And apparently there's supposed to be more stuff for this season next month, but they were not telling what it is, which is the big problem you'll see if you go on the subreddit is everybody's like, when I want to believe this game is like going to be the live service you promised us. Just tell us that there's stuff coming. Like every other major game has like a roadmap. Give us a roadmap. And then you click and there's actually a very active community manager from DICE now who's on that subreddit all the time. And you see a post tagged with dev response and you go click on it and he's just like, I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you guys more. You deserve more. Sorry. And it's always like, I feel real bad for him because you can tell he cares about how sad everybody is about this, but he's not allowed to say anything more, so he's just like it's just really sad.
I wish I could get paid to apologize for things. Jeez, I do enough of that for free.
You should get back in retail again.
Are you satisfied with the post-launch
My
content
coffee's
of
too
Battlefront
hot.
2?
Sorry. My coffee's too cold. Sorry.
What do you mean there's no ice? I gotta drink this coffee hot?
Okay, we're done talking about coffee, Joe. You can finish whatever you were saying.
Like there's a poll on there that's like, are you satisfied with the post-launch content from Battlefront 2? And it's like 90% people saying no.
It's like our poll?
Right, except with more respondents.
Oh, okay.
Not that our poll didn't have an inconsequential number. I think we had a whole 50.
50, that's right.
This one had like about 1,000 people responded. 94% said no, and then the person who posted was like, I just wanted, the guy's name is Ben, the community manager. I just wanted you to know that this is a thing, and he's like, people know. That was his only response.
So, do you think that eventually all the salt from the community is going to get to him, and he's going to change his name to Kylo Ren?
You know what? To be honest, nice joke. That was good. But to honestly answer the question,
You didn't sound very sincere there, man. I don't know if I believe you.
Joe's
I
trying.
feel like everybody in the community understands the position he's in, where he's like not allowed to tell us just how bad things really are. And we all know like he wishes he could be more transparent. So everyone's just like, please tell us.
Now, here's a question for both of you. I don't know how much either of you have been keeping tabs on the... I'm not even quite sure how to describe it, but the mess that Bungie has gotten into with Destiny 2. They've definitely had a roadmap, but it has been sort of filled with landmines, whereas we don't have a roadmap and therefore don't really have landmines as much with Battlefront. But which do you think is the worst position to be in?
I'd rather have something laid out even if they don't deliver on it, because at least, like right here, when you're in the dark, there's like this weird hope/despair scenario where you just like, I just want something to keep this game going because I enjoy it. But it just seems so abysmal because you think if they had something, they would have told us by now. Like, why wouldn't they have told us? But at the same time, since they haven't specifically said these things aren't coming, you're like, oh, maybe there's a chance. Like, if they had a roadmap and then, like, under-delivered on it, I think that's less, like, torment.
Do you two think that the whole debacle with the crates just led to this complete breakdown, or you think the breakdown was going to happen anyways?
No, I think that's probably exactly why this happened, because their whole plan, whatever they had, got derailed for 3 months with them trying to fix and like re-engineer the progression system, because they didn't roll out the update to that until March, so they spent a good couple months reworking a basic foundation of the game, which I'm sure pushed all the other content back. And by that time, a lot of the prevailing theory is that most of the devs from Battlefront have been shifted to Battlefield 5, and there's almost nobody working on this game anymore.
Getting the old LCG treatment, huh? Just leave one guy behind to tend house and keep it from falling apart before they're ready to set it on fire.
I guess, in my opinion, I don't...
Sorry, never mind.
Oh, I was going to say, in my opinion, I guess I don't necessarily feel like EA owes us a roadmap or anything like that. You know, I mean, I don't know. I think that's a little bit of...
Well, the thing is...
of an entitled position to be taking there. I mean, I mean, there is a case for it a little bit, considering the fact that this was sort of sold as a continuing service that they were always going to be adding on. I mean, there in that instance there can be a case made. But I think if we just got more regular, not necessarily a roadmap, but just more regular updates where I think, you know, devs were saying, you know, okay, this is what we're doing, this is what we're working on. Yeah.
They're the only person who's been saying anything lately, because even Dennis, who is like the messiah of the Battlefront community, because he was always very communicative with everybody, he hasn't been saying anything. There's just this Ben guy who just says, sorry. This is the post that made me, it's just a bummer. So the OP in this thread says, just wanted him to say something like, we promised a live service game, you're going to give it, we haven't given up. Something along those lines. But the response he gave us makes it seem like they have given up. And then the community engagement manager. He says, "I'll be honest, the reply you've capped was written 2 to 3 times before I eventually went with that one, which was just kind of a vague nothing. I appreciate it's not the answer you want nor the answer you deserve. Things have not been good enough, especially in the communication department. This has been voiced multiple times, and I want to believe it'll get better. It simply has to get better. There's a lot of hate portrayed toward the dev team, but I wanted to add, well, that I stand at your side, players. I also stand at theirs. I belong to both teams in a way that I'm lucky to see both groups in action. The team at DICE are incredibly passionate about Star Wars and just as passionate about delivering the game that you want. It's also the game that they want. In no way does the team suck or anything like that. As much as this community is one of the most passionate I've worked with, the dev team are some of the most talented." And then he said, "I was watching the Clone Wars the other night, and please..." And the quote at the start said, "A lesson learned is a lesson earned," and that's what he said. And then it's just more people like, "But just tell us something." Like, it's all just so sad.
Another one that occurred to me that is another EA property that, or a sub-studio that has certainly had its fair share of issues, and they are taking at least some steps to rebuild faith, and that's BioWare. They brought back Casey Hudson, who was gone throughout most of Andromeda's development and came back afterwards to try to rebuild the community's trust in what they're doing with Anthem, which, as much as I love BioWare, Anthem is not exactly what I want, and I am very afraid for them. But this guy at least has clout with the fans, and he's putting out big long blog posts about making sure that we get what we want and what we expect from that studio, as well as, how do we see the future of video games. So, I mean, at least just some representative saying, "Hey, we gotcha," instead of just "sorry." It can't be too hard to find someone to be like, "Here's a positive spin."
Apparently it is. They just can't. Like, this guy is being as positive as I can. Like, he's just... There must be so much red tape where somebody higher up is like, "You're not allowed to say," and it's just so weird. And it is. I assume that EA has just given up on this property, and they're trying to string the players, myself included, along as long as they can. Like, they haven't even, completely... If you want to get emotes for your hero characters, if you look at the emotes that are locked, it says available in crates.
Oh, I saw that.
There's
yeah.
no crates to buy. Like, if I wanted to get these emotes and spend real money on them, I couldn't. The feature's not available. They're just locked, and there's no possible way to unlock these items in the game as it is right now.
Well, we only have marginally more information recently from the Old Republic, which is still going since December of 2011. So it's still chugging along. They're still releasing content. They released game update 5.9 earlier in May, the Anathema Conspiracy, which was another story-focused patch. And they were going to make a big push to get out more multiplayer content, but I doubt they managed to please most of those people. But, they're still creating, and they're still having semi-regular community engagement to tell folks, yeah, we've got plans for a 5.9.1, or maybe in quotes 5.10, although the numbering doesn't really seem to work out there.
I thought I saw something that the Old Republic is still profitable.
Yeah, I mean, it
was actually interesting.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of the people who are still actually playing that game are probably a lot of the whales who are buying a bunch of crates.
Right.
Although, what's really interesting is that unless I misread something, they are changing the cartel market to not use crates, or at least the crates as they had been. So like
Yeah.
all the armor sets that we used to, some people, not Leo, would spend their cartel coins to try to get like the Darth Revan armor set or all the other KOTOR ones that made people ooh and ah, me included.
And you could spend just thousands and thousands of coins and still not get any.
Yeah, or you get like Revan's pants, and then that's it. True story. But yeah, they
piece of Darth Revan.
Hey, you know what? It's still cool. I would still want that.
It's very edgy.
Kylo would definitely be, interested in that. But from what I understand, they've taken all those armor sets out of crates and put them just on the market. And if I'm wrong, I hope someone calls me out, but I'm pretty sure I read that is the case.
Well, hey, maybe I will spend all my coins, because I think I've got like about 10,000 cartel coins just sitting around doing nothing.
I can't imagine how many you have by now.
So, I mean, I guess I could, maybe if they've done that, maybe I'll log in and go on a spending spree.
You're just going to get the Bastila outfit for all your characters.
Yep.
Perfect. Or the one from KOTOR 2 that had the shirt tied in the front for maximum skin exposure.
I'm just going to buy everybody the pants of Darth Revan. That's it.
Fantastic. And they've even, it was Musco on a discussion with SWTOR Central semi-recently. I guess it was quite some time ago that they had this discussion, but we don't talk about it too frequently, that there is going to be a 6.0 coming probably in the fall, and it's not going to be Knights of the something like it has been for the past couple, and it's going to refocus on Republic versus Empire, which is great, except that's exactly what Warcraft is doing. So, it's a little bit of a facepalm, but
yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, that's what the story of the game was from the beginning, was
right.
The Sith Empire versus the Republic. So, I mean, I guess I don't see it as like them, cribbing off Blizzard or anything like that. Well, I mean, not that they didn't in
any more
many
than
aspects.
They did already.
Yeah, okay, yeah, any more than they have already.
And you know what? If they give me another big story event, I will probably get back into it. And especially if there's a sexy new CGI trailer.
Yeah, I'd resub to play through the story again.
So I guess we have to at least say, hey, good job to SWTOR team down in Austin for still producing, even if we're not gonna see anything resembling much of a modern game. I mean, I know people would sure like to see a new graphics engine on it, because it certainly looks dated, especially when you can hop on Xbox and play Battlefront. But
the graphics themselves, I don't think are that bad. I think it's more the character models look dated. Like, I think if they went the route of Warcraft and they did just they upped the the poly count on some of their models and put new textures in and some things like that, it would probably look fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you remember how, compared to what World of Warcraft looks like now, if you were to go back and just load up original vanilla Warcraft, a lot of things looked kind of crappy.
Yeah, yes, they did. And they've already done a little bit of that. I remember some of the armor graphics got better throughout the life of SWTOR.
I feel like they also got better just in general at armor design and stuff. Because, man, some of like those first couple sets of like armor that you could get like from the first raid,
Yeah.
like with those goofy ass like bull horns and things like that on them.
I mean, every piece of like Sith armor.
Oh god, they were so ugly. I mean, and if there's one thing that's important to me when I'm playing my game, it's the aesthetics of my character's outfit. Like I'll wear crappier I'll wear armor with crappier stats if I think it looks better than whatever the
I mean, you don't want a helmet that looks like you have an ostrich sitting on your head?
No, I'll pass.
That's what we need in Battlefront, is some like ostrich feather helmets to help us like hide in Endor and not get killed by Ewoks. That sounds perfect.
Boy. You never played enough to get to see some of the really, really awesome armor sets they had, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't get very far.
Yeah, you don't know what you're missing, man.
I don't remember. How far did you get?
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Well,
Maybe we all need to start together and start at the beginning and have a video series but we all have to role play the whole time and stay in character.
All right, you got it. As long as we get to see Corso get mistreated by Leo. I just want that to be a mini series in itself.
Just me on Corso the whole time.
Yes. And
that was one thing about the smugglers. You got the absolute worst companion, but it was made up for by giving you the absolute best companion in the game. God, and I don't even remember his name anymore. The Mon Calamari companion you can get. What's his name like? Wasn't it like Tano or something like that?
I was gonna say Victano, but that was the trooper guy. Now I can't remember. But yeah, the failed Jedi.
Yeah. He had like some of the best lines in the game.
Oh, Gus Tuno.
Yeah, there we go. That was close.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun story to play. People should especially play that now. You get your own Wookiee companion and Corso.
Yeah. Bodar's kind of dumb too. But Gus is pretty great. And
you get a Mandalorian.
Yeah. She was okay. I'm just all about Gus. Once I got Gus, I never ran with anybody else.
I don't blame you.
I just love what he when he would run into battle and he would just yell out, "Wee!"
Well, I don't know. It's so interesting that I think lots of people believed that Battlefront II would deliver, and yeah, if it's just been a matter of the crates to set them back on so much development, it doesn't seem like to the general audience that should have been as cataclysmic as it seems to have been. But apparently it is, and I don't know. It's such a weird juxtaposition to see these two games, which should be the flagship games of Star Wars video games right now, and yet the mobile games are the real breadwinners.
It's just, if you look at all the features for Battlefield 5, you're like, but why didn't Battlefront get that stuff?
Yeah, all good questions. Which I guess should lead us into the next part of this discussion, which is hopes for E3 and or I guess EA Play, which I guess I wasn't too up on this before getting research for this episode. It's pre-E3 from what I understand. It's going to be just all EA updates, if I'm correct on that.
Everyone else wants to have their own BlizzCon now?
Well, my hopes would be that the president or CEO of EA comes out on stage and he's like, all right. And then before he can even say anything, Bob Iger comes out and he like whispers in his ear and he's like, I'm sorry. And they go off stage and Bob Iger comes back out and he's like, yeah, Disney has rescinded the Star Wars deal with EA. That would be like ideal. But what I'm thinking, I don't think we're going to get any Star Wars from them, but they might be in a position where they're like, we gotta do something to get good faith. So I think best case scenarios is either they finally tell us the fate of Battlefront and what new content is coming for it, or we get some sort of tease for the other game that Respawn is working on.
The one that didn't get canceled.
Right.
Yeah. Well, wasn't BioWare supposed to be working on a game
I
also?
thought so.
Supposedly, yeah.
See, I feel like they might give us something for Battlefront, or give us a tease of one of the new games. Because right now everybody is pretty bitter at them, and I think they're gonna want to try and cheer people up with something else. But it's gonna be hard for them to do. Because it's going to be like, oh, that's cool. Wait, nope, not falling for that again. I will, but hopefully a general audience is fine.
As will I.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to hear about anything, really. Any new game from them, any new Star Wars game from them.
We are remastering.
Unless it's Battlefront 3.
I don't think they could get away with that right now.
No.
They'd be like, we barely got a Battlefront 1 and 2.
Yeah, if Battlefront 2 was the game we should have gotten with Battlefront 1, then what on earth would Battlefront 3 be?
Battlefront 1 was like the alpha, and Battlefront 2 is kind of like the beta. So hopefully Battlefront 3 will be the real game.
Okay. This time, it stayed up.
I get that
Actually,
reference.
I guess... Aha! I got that reference. The biggest news for video games... Oh, I guess I didn't give my predictions for EA Play and E3. Maybe a new mobile game. Someone's probably going to say, we hear you, Battlefront people. We hear you. Maybe it'll be that one guy. And he'll just go down the rows and be like, I'm sorry.
He's going to take each person's one hand in both of his and like kind of pull towards him a little bit and be like, I hear you. We know. And he's going to do that for every member of the audience.
Yep. I don't know that we'll see anything for SWTOR. Their announcements always seem to come at odd times, although it's possible, especially since they already basically said, yes, 6.0 is coming. I'd like to think we'll get a title. Maybe like a teaser trailer that is really just a title sequence. And I don't think we're going to hear anything about a BioWare title. The Respawn title, maybe we'll get the equivalent of what we got for the other one that got scrapped, which was like a couple of screenshots. Yeah.
It was like 30 seconds of a dude walking out into like a street.
Yep, it'll just be the same one, but it'll just have a different company's name on it. Like, you've never seen this before.
They'll do like color, like do a palette swap on them, so it's like slightly different colors.
Or they'll just have it be like a female character, like, see, we know what's up.
Ooh, or maybe they'll announce another old game being released for backwards compatibility or on PC.
That would
like
just
recently
be at the Microsoft Xbox conference, they'll just be like, all right, and here's some more backwards compatible stuff.
The game everyone's been waiting for, Star Wars Obi-Wan. It's finally here.
I still have to go. All those games hit BC, and I haven't even had time to sit down and play them. I think current games sitting in my Xbox library that I should be playing, but haven't, is both KOTORs, Old Republic, original Battlefront II, Jedi Academy, which I have never played before.
Wait, which one?
Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, or whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
Jedi Knight 3, Jedi Academy.
Yeah. And Jedi
Actually,
Starfighter.
Is that Dark Forces 4?
I thought it was Dark Forces 3. I don't know. And you know what I mean. And Starfighter and Lego The Force Awakens is sitting in my library, and I haven't touched that yet.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a lot of Star Wars video games I should be playing.
You know, I was feeling that if they do announce any games, it's going to be all like, it's going to be just, stuff we do not want at all. Like you said, it's going to be, like they'll announce a new mobile game. We might get we'll probably get a Star Wars themed battle royale game.
Oh gosh.
What if that was like...
No. Oh no.
Okay, let's run with that. How would this work? I'm thinking...
And it runs on the Frostbite engine. It's so cool.
Oh,
I'm thinking... You know what? I really like the engine Battlefront 2 runs on. I don't even know what it is. It's got to be Frostbite, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But... I think the Clone Wars episodes where the Trandoshans are hunting kids for sport, maybe something like Most Dangerous Gamey like that, where you play as some kind of bounty hunter and you're just on a island. I don't see how you could make a battle royale work in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like some huts. It's like you said, it's like a Most Dangerous Gamey kind of thing, meant for the entertainment of some huts. So you're on some crappy little moon in hut space, all trying to kill each other.
And if you tried to do that with the heroes, I think the little cinematic would be ridiculous. Like Sidious and Rey and all of them just wake up on this plane or whatever, ready to be dropped off on the island.
I'm thinking, you're not playing as characters, which is right there why they're not going to make this game, because EA execs feel like you need to have these names.
You got to have Chewbacca in your game, or else.
But it would be cool if you got to play as just, a bounty hunter type guy and customize your appearance.
Ooh, customize
if you
your
give
appearance.
me a Star Wars game where I
That's
can
crazy.
actually customize my appearance, I'm in.
Jedi Academy. Done. Right, Leo? Uh-oh.
Sorry, I was talking to Mandy. I muted myself.
Okay.
What did you say? Repeat yourself.
I was just joking that Joe wanted a Star Wars game where you can customize your appearance, and I said Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Done. Problem solved. We just have to go back a decade and a half. Perfect.
I liked that in multiplayer you could play as your created character, or you could also choose a bunch of the NPCs that were in the game as your character model. And I mostly enjoyed that because one of the models you could choose was a big fat Rhodian.
But yeah, I think we're all in agreement that we're not being led to believe that there's going to be much at all.
No.
I mean,
I'm just looking forward to the Xbox conference at E3, and that's it. I might keep my eye open whenever EA is talking about stuff just to be like, yep, I know it. Nothing.
What if they came out with a VR version? Because that's, everything's got to be VR. A VR version of Kinect Star Wars.
Where you
I
can
think that would
dance
sell.
in first-person VR.
Yes.
with Han and Lando, and you've got like your wing. You can look to your left and right and see the Wingard backups dancing behind you. I mean, I think you've just sold me on this game, right here.
There we go. We just keep on doing somebody else's job for them.
Oh, and they can come out with a specialized headset too, where it basically looks like Lobot's headgear, but obviously you're wearing it backwards since it goes around your eyes.
That's fantastic. It's like when they put the Chimera painting on top of the ship so you could actually see it in Armada. Just like that. Just a little flip. Just what makes sense. Oh, goodness. And I still managed to snug in some FFG in there because I have to.
Well, you know, despite how much people like the Destiny players are complaining, you know, at least Fantasy Flight is putting out, you know, content for their games.
Right?
Good point. So at this point, we shouldn't even be like, oh, Destiny players, you're mad. Talk to the LCG. You should be just like, just look at what they've done to Battlefront. Well, any other thoughts on what could possibly happen? Let's say best Magical Christmas Land. What is the solution to giving us the best Battlefront 2 that we could possibly have at this point?
They just actually start putting out new maps, heroes, and game modes. That's all there is to it. Give us Obi-Wan, Grievous, Anakin, Dooku, and 3 maps that are from the Clone Wars, and everyone will shut up, and we'll all be happy.
They would have to burn the whole thing down and start over anew. It cannot be saved.
At this point,
Really?
if there wasn't any like stupid bugs with unlocking milestones and getting emotes and stuff, if that was sorted out, the game, in my opinion, is quite enjoyable. But it's getting frustrating how ignored it feels by the development teams. Just give me some Clone Wars content for that game, or give me Tobias Beckett to play as. I don't know. Give me. It just needs to be more things happening with it.
I mean, I don't know what stopped them from making a young Han skin with some new voice.
Yeah, they decided to. You don't even need to change the voice. They could have easily had a Han, a Lando, and a Chewbacca skins to dump in the game, but they gave us a. Well, the Lando skin we got was his disguise from Return of the Jedi, and then we got a Leia skin, which is kind of cool. It was the Bouche disguise. But like, why not give us young Han, young Lando, and young Chewie skins? Yeah,
well, you know, younger Chewie.
Yeah,
sure.
Scruffy goggles Chewie.
He's not exactly young.
He looks great.
I would be so on board if I got that Chewbacca skin. I'd pay like $5 for it.
Oh, yeah. Scruffy Goggles Chewie is the best Chewie. Oh, and of course you got to have the Lando Falcon skin, too.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, again, we're doing their job for them. Although you got to know someone at that studio was like, hey, we should really do this. And
there's just like one guy who hasn't slept in like 3 months trying to make all these things happen. And then the community manager is just sitting at the other desk, and he's like, "How's it coming?" He's like, "Tell him, just tell him something."
It is. It's so sad. So because the possibilities I think still exist for it to still be really good. It's in my opinion still a much better game than the first one, but Yeah, the ball's been dropped so horrendously. This is like, I don't know. I can't even come up with a good enough sports metaphor for it. Tom Brady at the last Super Bowl.
I was going to say, this is like, your average Vikings season.
I wasn't
where everybody's this is the one. This is gonna be it.
I was going to say, this is like the 1998 Vikings season. But...
Or the last year's Vikings season.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, do we have any other thoughts? I want to make sure all of our thoughts get poured out into this one, this very cathartic episode. I think I'm tapped out.
I am going to continue playing Battlefront 2, much like I did the last game, because I still enjoy it plenty, but I don't have any hope that they're going to turn this thing around. Zero hope on that front.
I am going to continue enjoying the free space on my hard drive that I have since I uninstalled Battlefront 2 recently.
Evan, you still have to play the Ewok mode with me.
I know. I keep thinking about it, but, sleep is a thing that I'm trying to get better at, so we'll see. I've got a lot of reading to do. I still have Last Shot to read.
I still have Aftermath to read.
I'm currently reading The Mighty Chewbacca in the Forest of Fear.
Oh, yeah. It took me a second. I know which one you're talking about.
It's a little kid book. Like below young reader.
It's like a golden book?
No, not that little. But so far it's actually kind of entertaining.
I believe it. All right. Well, I think that's probably going to wrap it up. So thank you all, dear listeners, for joining us on this not frequent enough look at Star Wars video games. It's kind of with heavy heart that we have to have these discussions, but that's just the way life is. And of course,
we could talk about them more often if, there was more going on.
Indeed. Maybe, you know what? We'll check in again post E3, and we will talk about how disappointed, or maybe not even disappointed, just not surprised we were.
We'll just talk about how cool Nintendo's presentation was, probably, that's my prediction for the show.
I'll probably just be excited about the Gears of War stuff, and you guys will be like, I don't care. There's a rumor that they're announcing 3 Gears of War games.
Jeez.
A Battle Royale game.
Yep.
And
that was one of the rumors.
Gears of War online card game.
Probably.
And
I think it was like a Battle Royale and RTS, and then just the next sequel.
So, as always, thank you to Leo for joining us. Thank you to
Leo.
Joe. Thanks, Leo. Thanks, Joe. You're the
Thanks,
best.
Evan.
Oh,
that's true.
My pleasure. And thank you all, listeners, and we will catch you next time on the next episode of the Jodo Cast.